about to work on a project, a rhinestone hoodie, and I thought I'd take you along for the ride. So this is the project that I'm working on today. As you see, it's Love, a rhinestone project. So I have it pulled up in the Cricut. I'm getting ready to lay down my rhinestone flock and put it on the Cricut mat. And as you know, I like to keep my flock on the backing so that I won't have to deal with all those dots on the mat. Once I pull my design off of here, all the dots will be on the backing and I can just throw it in the trash. I like it better that way. So let me load up my Cricut and we can get started. Okay, so I have the rhinestone flock on the mat. Let's get ready to send it to the cutter. So my settings on my Cricut is Bonded Fabric Plus. And I like to select the deep point blade. So let me make an adjustment so that it'll fit on the mat properly. Okay, again, I'm using Bonded Fabric Plus. Let me do continue and you will see my settings. Fabric Plus. Then I clicked on the edit tool, deep point blade. That just adds extra pressure. And we will start cutting. Alrighty, as you see, because of those cut settings, it will make 2 passes over the complete design. And that's its cutting. So it probably take about 20 minutes. So once that finish, I will bring you back. Stay tuned. Okay, we are almost finished. It's spitting it out to cut the weed box. Which makes it easier to pull it off. It cuts that twice as well. Alrighty. It is finished. Let me take it over to my table and I'll bring you around so we can peel it off the mat. Okay, let's see what we got here. Take it off the mat. Put the mat to the side. Alrighty, and my weed box should be here somewhere. And as you can see, you really can't tell. It looks like it didn't cut anything. You won't really see it until you start pulling it up. So let's see if I can find my weed box. Can you see that? Like butter. This is so satisfying. I don't know which is my favorite part. This or brushing in the rhinestones. Look at that. That's 100%. And you see how it say, to me, this is easier. Instead of scraping all this off of your mat, all I have to do is cut this. And roll the rest of my flock up. Put it away to the next assignment. So these are the dots that are left over. I love this. I don't have to scrape it off my mat. And this is my template. I'll put it on the my plastic backing, and we'll get ready to roll in the rhinestones. I love that. I could do this all day. Just cut and peel, because it peels just like butter. All right, let me get my mat and get the rhinestones, and we'll begin to brush in the rhinestones. Okay, let's brush in these rhinestones. And I'm using crystal rhinestones, which I think most people like because it goes with everything, right? So I place them on, and as you see, this mat right here, I like to put all my rhinestone templates on this mat. That way I don't have to worry about putting them somewhere temporary and then have to pull them up to place them down to rub rhinestones in it. Because the more and more that you pull on this rhinestone flock, you run the risk of stretching out the stones, and you don't want to do that. So by placing it on this mat, and I get these from Dollar Tree in the kitchen section, they're called cutting boards. By placing them on this mat, I don't have to worry about removing them, replacing them. They stay permanently on this mat. So like I was saying, I didn't know which one was my favorite. Peeling the rhinestone flock because it peels like butter, or rubbing in the rhinestones. I mean, this is so relaxing to me. I could do this all day. Peel the flock, make a template, brush in the rhinestone, make a transfer. Oh, look at there. I don't know if you can see that one, but it's a black one they got in there. So I'll pull that up, move it to the side, and put it back in the jar. Okay, where did my pick tool go? Where did my pick tool go? Okay. I didn't know I had put my bag up with my supplies in it. Hopefully, okay, there go my pick tool. And in the areas where it didn't roll in, you don't want to keep forcing the issue, because for a few stones, because then you run the risk of brushing out the stones that are already in place. So I'm just going around to remove any extra stones. That are on, and then adding a stone that did not fall into place. And as you see, that didn't take long to brush in them stones. Not at all. So let me move these out the way so that when I get my transfer tape, I won't run the risk of them being in the way. Okay. Move that to the side. I'll clean it up later. But what I like to do is take my phone, turn on the flashlight so that you can see. Look at them stones. Look at that. Gets me every time. But what I like to do is run the light across the stones to make sure. I don't know why my light is flashing like that. But anywho, to make sure I didn't miss a spot, and also to make sure a stone isn't laying on top of each other, because sometimes it's hard to see. My light went out on me. Okay. I think because my battery is going down on my phone, so it's trying to conserve energy. It's trying to save me from myself. Okay, so that is it, right? So I'm going to take my rhinestone transfer tape and I like to curve it in the middle, go down in the middle and fan out, and hopefully I have an equal distance all around. And I've done this at least 100 times, but I still get nervous because you just never know, because this material has like a static cling, and so as you get closer to the rhinestones, it may have a tendency to pull them out of place before you get the tape all the way down. So once you go down, you have to commit. You can't hesitate. You just have to go down and just lightly rub on top to make sure they stick into the tape, right? Alrighty, let's slowly go and pull the tape up. And I like to go slowly just in case a rhinestone is being stubborn. It's not coming up, but so far so good. Alrighty, and be careful if it's sticking to your table surface. You don't want to jerk it because you might pull some stones out of place. Okay, and then I'll put the backing back on top. Smooth it out so it can stick. Flip it over. And that is your rhinestone transfer. Now, wasn't that easy? This is your rhinestone template. You can use this over and over and over again. You know, this is a great item to make and sell, that other people, they can roll in their own rhinestones, or you can sell the finished product, which is a transfer. Okay? I would sandwich this in between two pieces of sturdy cardboard, because we know how the post office is, right? Sometimes they throw your packages here and there. So you want to make sure that you have it sandwiched in there good and tape it so that your stones won't ship in transit. So that's our transfer. So now I'm going to clean up my stones and get my hoodie ready. My temperature for the heat press is 350 degrees for 15 seconds. But what I'm going to do first is lint roll my hoodie, then go down for a 5-minute press to get out the moisture, because moisture in fabric is not our friend, because it'll eventually corrode the glue on the back of your stones. And also, if you work with heat transfer vinyl, it'll make that peel before it's time. So you make sure you do a 5-second moisture press. Okay, so let me get my heat press set up and I'll bring you right back. Okay, I've lint rolled the hoodie, even though I see some white specks on here, and I heat pressed it for 5 seconds. So now I have the task of aligning this on the hoodie. So what I'm going to do first is try to get the backing somewhat aligned. I know I need about 7 inches on each side. I think that does it. And you can't see the paper up top, but I'm having it come down 3 inches from the neckline. Okay, now let me measure to make sure. It's best to measure twice as opposed to needs to come over to the left a little bit. Measure before you heat it, because once I heat these stones, that's it. Okay, that looks good to me as far as equalness. Now I have to see if it's straight. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. So I'll press it down so that the transfer tape can stick to the garment. And I'm going to go around one more time to make sure none of my stones shifted when I was placing it on the garment. Because again, once these stones set, that's it. So I'm going to go set it up on the heat press and I'll bring you over there. Okay, I have the hoodie on the heat press and I'm going to go, it's set at 350, and I'm going to go down for 15 seconds. One of my stones shifted. I couldn't get it back on the transfer tape, so I will go down again. I'm not going to do the whole 15 on this. I'm going to do about 10 and see if I can take the transfer tape up without any stones coming up. And I'm going to place that stone in place. As a matter of fact, I don't have to pull all the transfer tape up. Let me find my pick tool so I can put it in place, because I'm sure it's hot under here. Okay, that looks good, and hopefully when I put the tape down, it does not shift. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to go down for the complete 15 seconds. Sometimes that happens. A stone will shift on you. but it's better to catch it before than after. Okay. Now let's remove this transfer tape, which is hot. I love it, I love it, I love it. Excuse me for walking in front of the camera. I'm going to get my Teflon sheet, place that over, and go down for another 5 seconds insurance press to make sure that these stones are set in stone. Alrighty, I'm going to bring this back over to the table so I can show it to you as is. Okay, there it goes. It looks good. It looks wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's basically the process of doing a rhinestone design. That's basically the process. And those stones are blinging. All right, that's my tutorial for this week. Bye-bye.